Morning, I'd like to call to order this meeting, Wabash County Drainage Board for Monday, March 16, 2026. First item on the agenda. We do the roll
Tyler,
Here.
Cheryl,
Here.
Jeff,
Here.
Brian.
Here.
Oh, Brian's here.
Next item.
Sorry, roll call.
Next item is approval of the minutes from March 2nd. Any additions or corrections to those minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes. March 2nd meeting.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to accept the minutes as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Motion passed. Homer Miller, informational hearing.
If you guys want to move up to the front row, you're more than welcome to.
It's not like high school, you can sit back.
If this is just an informational meeting.
Well, get a board hearing today, so. Please speak louder.
This was first brought to our attention when Tony had come into the office and said that he had several holes across his field and he'd been repairing them. And we started looking into it and found out that it is a county regulated drain. It's not one that I've ever worked with or we've ever done anything with, but there's no maintenance set up on it. We do have several drains in the county that are like that. We try to put a maintenance on them and work with them when we can. So we started looking into this one, and in checking records and things, I determined to classify it as at least in need of maintenance at this time. So in the meantime, I think the landowners have started doing some discussion and thought, well, do we want to make it maintenance? What do we really want to do with this drain? So I talked to the drainage board and we just determined the best thing to do at this point is to have an informational meeting prior to going into any hearings, so we know exactly what the landowners would like to do or see done with this. Like I said, it is a county regulated drain. It is up to the drainage board to make those decisions, but we do want to listen to what the landowners feel is needed out there also. So I guess, Jeff, if you want to turn it over to the landowners to see what they're thinking. We have maps up here of the information that we have. We know that in, I think it was 1963, there was a NRCS project that put in a tile alongside of the outlet. And what was the footage on that?
The footage on it?
Yeah, thought you had it on here
It's-
somewhere.
Roughly 1,000 feet, 975 feet.
So 24-inch was installed with the NRCS. Right now we were looking at a project of 1,200 feet of tile replacement on Tony Crum. We have an 18-inch per record at the outlet. We don't know if these sizes are correct. It's just what was done in the field with the records. I wish I had this up where we could see it better. But then even we're told that through the records, it was even questioned if some of this was in existence. We were told that it was in existence. Then through the records, there was supposed to be sections of different parts of this that were replaced. So it's really hard for us to know what we've got, what we're working on. I know that there was a section where it said 12-inch tile was replaced with 14. So that's why we need to be in here and talk about this, because we're not sure what we have in existence is what needs to be done out there. With being a regulated drain, that's why we ask the people to come in and talk to us and go over things with us, so we know what we do have and what we don't have. So I guess if anybody in the crowd wants to add to this, sure, now that's what we want. Like I said, this is just informational.
So everybody, anyway, was here, what? This here dad Max put in, that's an 8-inch.
No, that's that new 24 here.
Oh, that's it.
That would be what your grandpa put in.
Okay,
I said Hubert Crone with the NRCS put in this.
okay. Well, there is another one.
Yeah, and then our ditch is up here.
Yes.
That's our outlet.
And now,
You guys, I mean, everybody. Okay.
be nice if, well, then there's an 8 that was added to that. And it stops right here at the road. And Max and Dad put that in 2000, 2005, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was,
that 24. The reason it was done was that it's overloaded. Yeah. So we ran along it to take all of our water off because we were fixing too many holes. Right.
so it's not on this map, but there
Yeah,
is,
because it's private.
there is an 8-inch that runs all the way up to this point here.
How close to 24 inches?
So this would be the 12 and then there's 24 here.
Yeah, it's,
We tried to stay 40 to 60 feet away. Okay.
That's good.
When we got to the end, we're not that far apart, they're very close at the end.
Right.
right here. They're close. Can I put a dot
I
on
don't
there?
care.
I'm guessing they're real close right there at the end.
Is there a riser or anything there at the end that shows us where? Okay.
Yes, there is.
I kept them on the 24, riser on the 8.
What on this? Because we have 12, but our records show that the 24 stopped up here.
Oh, correct. The NRCS 24, yeah, the 18 continues. And it makes that circle like you say. So the 24 ends here, these two are wide together because we couldn't stand the pressure anymore. So this tile continues here and there's a catchment on it here, but it's not a 24 anymore. And
Right.
it's antique.
Yes. And we have a 12.
Yeah.
So
I
we have
don't
to
know
do
what that number is.
Okay, according to our records, it's supposed to be a 12.
Yeah.
So this basically should be the 12 is no good.
Well, it's still operating okay here for the time being. This is where we're in trouble currently. But this is still operating, but Jim and I took it upon ourselves to clean it up with a private ditch.
What about this here?
It's been a subject of a lot of hair pulling over the years.
Got sinkholes and all.
We used to, when we put the 8 in and fixed the end outlets in, what year was that, John?
2010.
2010, we did the ends and we haven't had any more trouble since.
So when I was out surveying it, there's 3 or 4 pretty decent holes right here in the water.
That could be because it's not on my property, I wouldn't know.
Right, but it's right past your fence.
Yeah. And this all through here this is an odd duck for me.
Yeah.
We got 2 over middle ditches here that.
We wouldn't need to upsize it because you have the 8 sided. We would just need to put a new.
Wonder if we should put a new 8. Well, we got the 24 here.
And there's an 18 there.
Yeah. And
If
they're
it's an 18, it might not be, could be a 14. We know it's down here.
the black and white line
If-
starts as a 24 and it does downsize as you go. And it's concrete and it's been trouble free
This one,
my lifetime. Yes.
because that wasn't the one installed in 63 and the records show 24 the whole way.
That's
It's not.
It's not.
Okay.
I have a couple of tiles sitting on my farm for when they did it, a couple spares
Mhm.
and they don't measure 24. So I don't know where they came from in this or where they downsized because like I said, it's been trouble free. We haven't been digging it up. The only thing that's been dug up in my knowledge is the end to why I'm back together
Mhm.
because we couldn't handle the water. We were getting way too much surface water.
Because right now we had a project we were looking at to replace this through here.
Yes.
Now,
What is this? What size is this?
This is 12
12,
from here to here.
and that's where you say the problem.
Well, I'm not sure if that downside is through here somewhere.
I'm sure it does somewhere, but we just don't know.
I would hope not.
Well, you had 12 on you, didn't you?
Yes.
I'm thinking of this one here is downsizing to a 10. This is supposed to be 12 all the way across.
I think it is. But I've never, like, right here's mom's house.
Mm-hmm,
Right here is where I'm having trouble with the lower side.
mm-hmm,
And the reason I come to you to get the map, and
mm-hmm.
I didn't know this was a regulated drain or anything, so we've learned a lot here in the last.
And we didn't know all of this was needed and been done and.
My whole life, it was called the company ditch by Herman and Jim and.
Oh my
Clinton and Larry.
gosh.
So anytime we fixed it, it was on us. We didn't know.
This has been a surprise to me. Being a
I've
resident.
seen it back in where I don't ever see anybody working or doing anything.
Well, this is all new to us, and now it's a county regulated tile, so, but as far as this goes through here, being that we put that 8 in, or
Mm-hmm.
they did, and this here, have you ever had any trouble with that part of it? I've never had any trouble with any of this through here.
All this water from this corner goes to here, runs this way.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is backed up, this is backed up. If we
Right.
get this fixed, this will drain faster. As
Well-
it does, it runs off all this, all down,
Mm-hmm.
down.
So far, right now, we don't have a problem with any of this right through here, other than this back here, which
Mm-hmm.
all this water, this should be flowing decent. The breakdown is after the Y here,
Mm-hmm.
and I've patched all the way down through here, and I've just patched it so much that there's nothing.
What size is that down there at the bottom? You said you don't have any issues.
Right here,
Yeah, what size is that?
12s and 10s.
I think yeah. I think it's a 12 coming up to here, and then maybe 10 all the way around.
So are we looking to upsize where you said
Okay.
they were having,
That's the next thing.
okay.
When we were looking at it, with doing through maintenance is what we were talking about. I can, for short distances, upsize a tile size. When you start upsizing more than that, you really should start calling it a reconstruction. And I know it's even been brought to my attention that maybe we should even go, with the numbers we have, it should be an 18 through there. It's been brought to my attention that maybe we should even look into it. Somebody wants it a 24. If you do a 24, you're gonna have to start looking at what you got here too.
Correct. I agree with that. And it's like Max told me that the 24 starts at the open tile ditch and then downsizes into the Y. Well, if it downsizes to an 18, I'm not interested in, starting at the open ditch and coming up through there with the 24 and then going east with the 24. I would be happy if we start at the Y and make sure that the Y has 18 inches going through it, and then start in replacing the 12-inch with an 18, and eventually someday have an 18-inch across Tony, Carla, and over onto us. So Carla and us, me, we're the two that have the most problem with standing water out there.
Well, then on up.
Well, yeah, there is a hole over on my east neighbor.
Well, if you don't have anything here, you're gonna have issues.
Pardon me?
If you do not have anything functioning very well through here, you are gonna have issues.
Yeah, I understand that. That's
What
where,
we were looking at with numbers was an 18 through here and then a 15. But that's, like I said, that's looking at the watershed numbers with
Mhm,
pretty much a half-inch coefficient.
mhm.
I think if you replace that section right there, it's bad with an 18 and make sure the Y is good. You fix those sinkholes, you probably see a significant difference.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah,
Well,
no doubt.
I remember back, it's been a good 20 years ago or better. We had some problems right here where this connection is,
Mm-hmm.
and we dug that up And Max's dad was back there, and my dad was back there. We got a hold of the Myerses, and they come over. And before I got done digging that hole, what had happened is I started digging it up because we knew there was a problem there. A couple pieces of tile fell down in there and had that jammed up so tight. I took the backhoe and just poked down through the water. Finally broke that tile loose. And there was probably a hole this big around, full water, 8 foot deep. And we were all amazed because when I broke that tile,
How fast it went down.
that water took off and that hole went dry.
I mean, if you do have a 14, 18, whatever through here, and then you have this one, plus you got an 8-inch in there now trying to help,
Well,
it should go pretty fast.
Yeah.
But we need to keep this open too.
Would it be nice to the structure right there? Where it winds in, you don't have a line where you have it coming into that structure,
Like a manhole.
like a manhole.
Be maintained easier.
So you can maintain, you can go any direction you want, 3 ways, instead of just a Y that you're blindly looking into.
Well, I like that idea because Dad put a couple big riser pipes up there that are still there. So one to the west marks the, whatever you want to call it, 24, and the one to the east marks this time. But over the years, I got tired of patching all this up, and it falls apart. It's 100 years old.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to fix. And I didn't know it was a regulated tile when I was patching all that. And then I did have Eric Bostwick come out and help me fix it twice, just because my back shot, basically. So
So can we do that? That qualify under maintenance? or
Not
we-
really.
I don't know.
Are you looking at doing something this fall then? Is that what you're thinking
Well,
of this fall, winter?
I think we're at the point we're at now, and the best time to do that is in the fall. And we're getting closer to spring, and that's not a good time to put tile in and try to put up water being on.
Correct. Ideal time is through the summer, but nobody wants us in there when we're doing that.
But in the fall, we can, depending on what we get into, but I'm thinking personally, and John and Max and I have all talked about it, is starting here. And I've got it dug up right there off of that, at the end of my pen. And I was back there the last couple of weeks. That first rain we got, been about 3 weeks ago now. That tile was full.
Well, especially if you're starting to get holes out through here.
But I don't know what's Max knows all about that. As much as there is to know. But I'm thinking, is this 1,200 feet? Okay. Well,
That might just be a representation of 1,200 feet.
Well, yours not to
Yeah.
scale.
okay.
I do like Tyler's idea.
Most definitely.
Catch
Manhole there.
manhole in.
Having a blind Y never
Well,
done.
that gives that water choices, you know.
Where
Yeah.
the pressure's the greatest.
You know, there's no choices for that water really to go now.
So line, yeah.
Let's say if you got an 18 there, a 24 and another 8, you know, it's gonna go where it needs to go.
I'm not saying you couldn't tie it in, but you could tie that private. Can you tie privates into that manhole structure?
Nobody's doing that.
No. I didn't think anybody would have it. You could.
I just wanted to be clear on that right here.
But we've been talking and we're not getting a lot of help. I mean, I think it's Davenport's and
Anderson, South Carolina.
Anderson, South Carolina. This guy up here,
Over here, he's in Elkhart.
well,
So that's kind of what we're here for, is to help group it all together. Like I said, it is a county regulated drain now. The board would have to look at different criteria if it was vacated. They could say, no, we don't want it to be vacated. But if you vacate it and then you ever want to come back to make it a regulated drain again, it's a little more difficult to do.
but it is possible.
It's possible, but you're gonna have to get attorneys involved and things like that. So keeping it, and I know we've already got a couple people that wanted to leave it as a county regulated drain.
Yes,
I do know that.
we're getting information daily
Mhm.
on people that, you know, and John and I talked, you know, he's just a little older than I am, and, you know, we're kind of, you know, maybe want to spend another week in Florida,
Right, from it. When we leave,
you know, as far as landowners have changed.
Mhm.
Most people don't understand
Correct. I get it.
what a county or a company ditch
And
is.
if they're not having problems on their property,
They don't care.
they don't
Right.
care, yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Not their
But-
problem.
That was a great thing back in the 50s and 60s. But it's a different world now.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I guess when I started out, and I'd already fixed it for the last 20 years, and as Max and Dad. And then when I come down and get the map from you, you said it was county regulated ditch.
And
So,
everything changed.
Surprise.
yeah, that was news to me. But I think what we want to do right now, if we do something, which I'm not saying we're going to, but from here, somewhere in here, has got to be replaced. And what we've talked about is 18-inch.
Mhm. That's what we have on ours too. It's what we've calculated. There is no maintenance fund. That's one thing that was never established.
They didn't know.
It's just a county regulated, yeah. And years ago, some of them just wanted to leave it in limbo. They didn't want to, you know, put maintenance on it, but they didn't want it to be taken out of the jurisdiction of the drainage board either. We've got several like that. But I know in 73, Brain went through the minutes and said that the people then wanted to look into having it as maintenance set up on it and stuff, but it was never done back then.
I was-
In 73, yes. Yes.
Back then, when we had trouble, we called all the neighbors and they all come over and looked in the hole and they cussed and fought about it. And then they agreed and they shook hands and they left. And
Yeah.
the problem is those days are over.
Handshakes
they
don't
weren't.
mean anything anymore
I
either.
wish they weren't, but they are over.
Yeah.
And John's trying to preserve, you know, the next generation of how we handle it and all that. And I get it. But my biggest question is, when you say maintenance fee, to me, that's a tax.
Mhm. It's
So how
not
much is
considered-
this going to be?
So there's a lot of drains that have a maintenance fee and they have enough that it's.
We're starting to,
We're
yeah,
starting.
we're getting those taken care of.
So what you're paying into that is minimal, well, they, because it's a rate from 1963.
What we would look at, if we end up saying we can do it through maintenance, you would have like a 1 or 2 year higher maintenance project to replace this and fix through here. That would be, like I said, the higher maintenance for 1 or 2 years to pay for that project. Then after that, then we would start the annual maintenance fee. That has to acquire a 4-year balance. If we don't use any money out of it, then we shut it off until we use funds out of it. Then if we do, then we continue to collect it.
And that's for everybody in the watershed.
Yes. There's minimum charges.
how do you determine how much has to be in the maintenance fund before you stop?
the 4-year balance.
for your balance.
Whatever the year.
But we haven't come up with that rate per acre yet.
Okay,
That's something to discuss with the board. And we have to look at the age of the tile. Because if I have a brand new ditch, I don't see a reason to put a big maintenance fund on it. Because it's not going, may collect 4 years and be done. And probably wouldn't have anything going on. When you have an older ditch like this, it's probably gonna start having repair after repair. And we try to do sections at least. We don't try to do little bits of, repairs. We try to get big sections of it done. Then we look at a little bit higher maintenance because we know we're gonna have things starting right away. And once people know that there's money there, then we start, oh, yeah, that I do have holes out in my field that need to be fixed.
so, like, a couple of questions I do have. It sounds like that, we're already in agreement that we can upsize it to 18-inch. The way it looks.
The maintenance, that's something we have to discuss in here.
Okay, so when the project starts, and am I correct in saying that the old tile will be removed?
Correct. I do not like right now, we're hearing that 14-inch was replaced, replacing 12-inch was run along the side of it. I don't know where this 14-inch was put in. Maybe we're repairing a tile that's no good. I don't like to keep old tile out in the field because they do start breaking down and then you start having issues.
I agree.
We put a new tile in, we put it in the size that it should be. There shouldn't be a reason to have any of
You're
that.
talking about digging through
The old tile,
digging through it.
yes, we want to destroy it.
Put the new
Follow the
tile,
same line,
put the new tile on the same bed.
pretty much.
Definitely in agreement on that.
Yeah, sometimes you have somebody coming out there with a wheel machine and they want to run along the side of it. Which I understand that. They're putting a nice bed in with that wheel machine. I understand that more. And if you get into a lot of old clay or concrete, that's hard on their equipment. But they still go along the side it and destroy it. We don't leave the old tile.
Well, the only problem would be making sure that you get the laterals
Correct,
hooked back in.
correct.
And sometimes contractors don't pay much attention to that.
When that's something we point out to them, that they have to make sure if they have to do that. And if they miss one, which it has happened on our jobs, then it's up to them to go back out and get it.
So am I right in saying that this would be fixed with a excavator?
We
Probably.
usually throw it out there to both, if they think they want to use a wheel. With that distance, I'm sure it's probably gonna be an excavator.
I was gonna say, though, if you start a wheel machine down the existing tile and mix all that old tile,
They usually want to run off to the side of it with a wheel.
so it would be my preference to use the excavator and of course take away as much dirt from both sides as possible. Then dip the old tile out, load it up, haul it off, get it clear out of there
Yeah, if
as
it's
much as possible.
clay, sometimes they'll bust it and leave it down in the trench. Because it is extremely hard when you're doing clay to get all those pieces.
I agree, I understand that.
Well, it's gonna be my time.
Yeah, that's true.
I've heard what he's saying. He's out where you think we should have is replacing that with an 18 there where we've had no problem.
Well, I think it depends. If we can dig this up right here and get a eyeball on that and see what this tile looks like, if that's an 18 going down through here, we can't go over an 18 coming this way.
No,
So, but basically we can dig that up and figure out if this is 18, we can go 18 here and do it a series at a time, maybe 1,200 foot a year.
Shoot a camera up through there and see
They've
what
got
that
some,
looks like.
they got some pretty neat stuff nowadays. You can roll up camera.
gonna get one for us.
And I'm okay with upgrading, but, if we upgrade here for these fellas, which I
Yeah.
like my neighbors, I want them to flourish. But if we start having trouble down here, then, I'm gonna be very
I'd
unhappy.
really like to know for sure what's here, and I'm gonna check with the NRCS to see if they have better records than what we have on what was done there. But we need to kind of look into this and see what we do
Yes,
have
agreed.
here, what size.
Exactly. Agreed. 'Cause I
With an
only,
18 and then you put a manhole here and it can go either way, you're gonna be plenty.
so with the
Looking at
drawing of the watershed here. And knowing what I did privately for Jim and I, we spent a fortune, and Bob
Mhm.
taking our water off, can we change the watershed? I mean, because
Where are you, no, not really, but where did you tap your 8-inch goes clear into the open?
Yeah, I started fresh. I don't know. I mean, we assumed it was a company ditch, so we spent the money ourselves out of pocket. So here we are.
Yeah,
But
and
you're-
Max does have a very good point there. I don't know. How that's all going.
If you place that 18 where we, put a manhole, you'll see soon that you have issues.
No, I'm not talking about that.
No.
I get that part. I'm talking about the money that I spent to put the 8 in. I'm still gonna be taxed on this, even though I spent my own money to remove my water.
I mean, you'll still get benefit out of these from this side. of
Well,
it.
I ran both sides.
You got 8 over here too?
Now we put a 6 on that side because it was such a problem. And you could dye them. I mean, if you choose to do that, we could dye them to prove my point.
Right.
But I have maps and we dyed these, but Jim and I spent almost $40,000 removing our water in 2002 to
What
2010.
did you put in?
8,
Plastic though?
yes, all plastic.
That single wall or?
So it does create a,
So. Yeah.
yeah, we had it, but there was no reason to put it in.
I'm paying a single wall.
Yeah.
Especially for a main.
Well, we were trying to drain 60 acres, and an 8 was huge. We were trying to take water off the road as well. And we accomplished that. But when I look at your map,
That made a humongous difference, when they got that 8 in there. I mean, it just,
But that surprises me that this isn't. Doing more.
well, the yellow dot, the old 18 runs water as long as it's heavy raining or ponding. And as soon as we get down to where you can walk across the ground without it sticking to your feet, the 18 stops running and it's only the 24 that runs water.
So how deep is it?
There's
Is yours
places right
deeper?
off of the filter strip that's not very deep, but it gets to be pretty deep up here. Because they made this big old circle.
Right, so the depth on your tile lower than what these two
No,
are?
I tried to stay above it.
Okay, okay.
We only did what was necessary to get here. And when they did this, they were trying to drain pockets out here, so we're at a good average depth.
Do you remember how deep it is there, like 4 feet or?
Well, the riser will tell us,
Okay, yeah,
but I'm gonna say 36, 38 inches, I'm assuming at the
Okay.
road covered. So it is complicated, and, Colin, lives right here,
who?
Colin. your nephew.
Oh, yeah,
This yellow dot ends here.
that I can't change.
No, you can't change it, but you could dye it and find out the same,
Yeah,
because your map doesn't show it, but that's where it ends.
a lot of our drains will stop at a certain point, because that's where they regulated them to, and they do go on, but
It doesn't change the watershed, but the tile does end there if you wanted to, do a laser shot or something.
that was probably added in after
That could very well be.
we added on to the end of that. Probably.
and sometimes if it's a different size, they only took it like a 12, they only wanted to accept to the 12.
Mhm.
We don't know why they stopped tile, sometimes where they did, or even the open ditches. Sometimes it was just to get an outlet or just to get through the problem area.
Well, John's got a Wrangler there and he's had that dug up.
How deep was it on?
And John says that's a 12, so
Mhm.
if we're looking at 12,
Yeah,
Right.
that's what we're
Right there.
gathering from what we have in the records.
We had a spot dug up on east of that, of 200. Just about 2 years ago, we had two of these 12-inch go down, and had Eric fix it for us. And as I recall, that it had at least 3 feet of cover on it.
Okay,
And so I don't think it was 4, but there was a good 3 feet at that point. So it's got good depth over on us, which is that's a huge plus.
mhm,
And when we retiled this farm, our farm, when we completely reditched this, well,
System.
those look like old ones to me, because everything we put in was in straight lines.
Well, you can see the straight lines here.
Okay, okay. So anyhow, but when we didn't want to, we dug the 12-inch up out here in the middle of the pond and put riser in there.
Okay.
And then we came over here to 200 and put a Y in, and it goes both ways. And then we paralleled the 12-inch and brought our laterals into the new parallel, so that we knew the ditch was old. You start messing with it,
Yep.
you cause problems. So we're bringing most of our waters coming down here to 200 and dumping in there at this point. So anything that we do down here is a plus for us.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So I have no problem. That's the reason I'm so adamant about increasing this tile size. And I like what you folks are talking about, 18. I was afraid that you were going to talk 15. 18 is good.
The plastic, I'm sure you guys know this, but the plastic 15-inch tile nowadays is the same size as the old clay, the 12 clay. So just to stay the same, we've got to go with the plastic 12.
We're using the smooth core to it.
Yeah.
What we-
So you will use the smooth.
Oh,
core.
yes.
Yeah, we will.
Yes. The
Perfect,
only thing we use.
perfect.
I'm thinking too.
Yeah, no, we don't. Single wall does.
9 years from now, so.
Oh, it'll,
If we
And it's
do,
better than stone also.
Yeah.
right, it's bedded in stone,
Yeah.
did you say? Does the stone come up all the way around the new plastic?
Not generally,
Just-
depending on the depth. There's a lot of criteria we look at for that, but it's at least up to the haunches of it. So we have the,
And a lot of it depends on the contractor.
yeah, sometimes
So it's almost always, so.
some of them will just say that's what we want, and they'll go ahead and bury it in stone completely.
But the contractor can be told what to do.
Pretty much, yes. Yes.
Most of them know to put that in,
Mhm.
know that bed it makes to bring it up to the top. They don't weed the water away.
oh, that'll,
That helps also with drainage coming
Also,
through.
no roots getting there too. Big dip.
that really feeds up the water. So,
Yeah.
Can the brand name of the plastic tile?
We usually just use,
It's usually whatever the contractor
yeah,
gets.
So why can't we specify
What do you want?
Fratco,
Okay, and we've got some south that say the only good tile Springfield, so.
yeah.
Springfield? Well,
well,
that's very possible. I'm sure that.
They're both good products.
Those are Fratco's what most of our contractors use.
I have researched on the plastic, and I've talked to the guys that do a lot of ditching here in Wabash County, Miami County,
Mhm.
and they say the Springfield tile is top of the wall.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I've been
Okay,
hearing, so.
I believe you.
But Fracco's not a bad product. I mean,
No.
you know, it's not a bad product.
Okay.
Nothing's bad.
If they usually like have a contract with somebody who usually loves it, because they get a better price on it, makes the project cheaper. If they buy so much from Fratco, they buy so much
Yes.
from Springfield, whatever they're using, and they get the bid, that's usually what.
Then that, I would have no problem with between Fratco and Springfield then, if everyone likes Springfield. Then that brings up the subject of virgin tile versus recycled tile. I have no use for recycled tile. It's a little cheaper, but you're only putting it in the ground one time. Why not pay the extra for virgin tile? So have you been through that?
We've been through that.
And not be recycled.
What?
We don't do recycled.
Good. Okay, you're talking my language. So I like to hear that.
Sounds like we need to start getting some money, since it is county regulated.
We have to determine whether we
Get some
feel with the
numbers.
manhole with, like I said, I really would like to know what size we've got going here.
Right.
Switching to an 18, like I said, going maintenance, I didn't have an issue with going to a 15 but when we ran the numbers with the 1/2 inch, an 18 is really what it needs to be.
That's what I would do.
And then we have to look at what we have here as an outlet too.
That'd be in the first place,
Mm-hmm,
right there is the main connection at the Y.
mm-hmm.
That's where we need to investigate first. And that's gonna tell us all. But Eads put that in. When I had that dug up years ago. And got the water out of the hole,
Mm-hmm.
Bab, Larry Meyer, Herman, John, we just had Eads come fix it because it was big tile.
Right.
They had the stuff.
Was it Tad that did it or
Scott,
Scott? Okay. How long ago was that?
late eighties, early nineties, I mean,
It
probably.
have to be in the 90s, knowing Scott's age.
I would say it was close
Yeah.
to around 2000.
Yeah, well,
I was born in 83, and Scott's a little bit older, but.
He's mid-nineties, I would assume is when that was done.
okay,
And this would have to be put out for bids, correct?
yes. Or quotes. We do quotes too,
Quotes.
depending on whether it's reconstruction. Reconstruction is definitely bids. But we can do, well, no, not necessarily because the pricing of it, we have to figure out what the cost is gonna be. Then we can determine whether we can do quotes or bids.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
Okay.
one thing I'm like John. And I patched that up. And I definitely, whoever does it, if it's us or them or who, we need to dig that out with an excavator.
yeah, it'll be gotten rid of.
And
So really, your first step is exploratory excavation.
right,
I mean, really,
We have some decisions to make here
Right.
too.
that'd be your first step on the ground.
And funding, I mean, you guys have to decide how you're gonna fund this too. Exploratory. You don't have a maintenance on it.
Usually that's by the maintenance, it's really good.
Yes, yes. There's no funding whatsoever.
well, I want to make sure that Hunter understands here because him and his dad farm all this over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to understand that,
This has to be good for us.
Yes,
yeah,
And I think it's fine now.
it is.
So we focus on this up here, get this good. If we have problems later down in my future, we can tie into your new tile you put in, whatever you guys decide up here.
Well,
there'll be funding to come.
we're up in here, but this tile is good,
Yeah.
as old as it is. Well, I've never had any trouble. Shoot, I've been farming.
But I mean, you got it.
55
And in here, we would fix the 12s. We would need to do,
Yeah.
because if you're down in here, you don't wanna run into an 8 here, you wanna stick with the.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be
Yeah,
big.
that
all the
would
way
need to be
there.
replaced.
Future, if there's a moment, it'll be a lot easier for you to get work done.
Yeah.
It'll be funding.
Mhm.
And if
And
we-
there's a lot of tile over there, just as much through there than there is up here.
Is this possible to remove my land from this or not?
I think that's something we need to talk about too, because
Well, I'm asking the question just so you.
you got an 8, and you got a 6, you got single wall how long has it been in now?
2000, we started the project in 2002. It took a few years to fund it.
So nothing you have is tapped into either one of those mains.
Right.
It all goes into your two tile.
And they're
Usually,
exposed and visible, so. But I understand that quandary that puts you in.
In every watershed that happens, every watershed, somebody has no water in it.
I know, and it is hard to believe, but,
so they've done something with it.
and I realize it's hard to believe, but you can prove that.
Well, I mean, we're not saying we don't believe it, but it's just then, yeah, it sets a precedent for the future.
Oh, yeah, makes it really difficult.
Well, you've already kind of had with one meeting that you had because you had a landowner tile against the contours and went the other direction. Well, you're still gonna have some surface water going that way. But we agreed that anything within that watershed, that LiDAR watershed would be assessed. So in some ways, you've kind of said that's a little bit different scenario than what this was. So I guess it's what the board thinks, what the landowners think, and the discussion that maybe you need to have, that you don't want to be on the spot today.
Yeah. Understanding the concerns, for sure.
I'm kind of there with Max too. All the work that my dad and
Mhm.
Max has done. And Max is getting absolutely no good out of this. And I'm not really getting any.
Well, I like you guys to do well.
I mean, I really don't get any,
Thank you.
I'm not getting any good out of that either.
Well, and neither is anybody down here.
No. But
So that's when you start breaking up things that there's always been said that they wouldn't do, but you have
Yeah.
people with different ideas.
for me in here, that tile has to get pretty deep to go over here and drain this low spot. It's gotta be pretty good and deep in here. And I'm thinking if we start here and go as far as we can go and get into some good tile.
I would say short term, that's not gonna, you don't wanna be right, but what's long term, we'll go down the road.
I'll be dead by the time.
Well, I agree, but 8 inch, 6 inch, single wall might start going bad, and then you gotta look at something different, either invest or you gotta make this fund now that you've been putting into, so I mean, short term, yes, really doesn't benefit at all, or you, long term,
And
It
be
will.
clear too, that the maintenance fund will not take care of the 6 and the 8 inch.
right, but.
He would just be able to
Yeah.
use that.
That's double.
Right. You'd be able to use that county regulated drain though at that point, that you can figure out something maybe needs to happen. So again, future, yes, present, no.
There's a thing you could look at, maybe you could lower the assessment for a while or forever, or until he needs to be, and then bring him up to like to a half assessment or something like that until the time comes when you would need the main, and then, but I'm not gonna be here, it's gonna have to be documented very well, but
Good possibility, no.
That's right. I would guess that's.
So,
it would be documented in minutes and in the files that something like that has been done. Braden will be here.
The only other comment I think that I have, would be that, if we move forward with this, leave it as a county drain. I would appreciate everything being agreed upon before you folks put it in black and white. And then you call that hearing meeting, and I have to go through the process to stop the project because I don't like something you did. So does that make sense? So can, let's have,
Present our proposal.
yeah,
that's what the hearing's for, so if you have a complaint before we go forward, we gotta get the plans in place.
Well.
But I don't want to have to carry this paper to all the property owners and get signatures. I want it all agreed upon prior to that point. Do you understand? Does that make sense?
Yes and no.
And I've got to, I'm saying,
No, that I've been
you
to
gotta get the
anything.
plans put together.
And
What it's gonna take.
And then,
has to stamp its mark of approval on it. That's kind of what we go by in that situation, so.
We come up with a plan, we present it to the board. Then they have to give their approval too, working on it. Then we went to the hearing, and then anybody who has complaints come in prior to the hearing and complain to us or run out your objections or
That's
whatever.
what she said.
And those are presented at the meeting too.
Yeah.
I know, but at that point, I just did that, on that open ditch. And if I had wanted to try to stop that, I would have had to have gone to the other property owners and gotten signatures. And I don't want to have to do that here.
Well, you just,
I want to be able to have everyone agreed upon your proposal, before it gets too far down the line.
you don't really carry a petition as much as you can file judicial review with courts.
You don't have to file anything.
I don't want you to have to.
I was gonna say, we have a hearing, and everybody's in agreement, just use not, then that's the point where you have to take it to the next level. But if you're agreeing with everybody else, then we're good at the hearing, and we can continue on with the plan.
Well, why can't you put the approval together? I come in, you show me the approval. Can we do that? Okay.
You're probably not gonna get 100%. Very seldom. Those that are us, they don't have a water problem, so they're not
Right.
interested in.
Right,
But he wants to be 100% on board with your project.
right.
And I hear that.
Yeah.
And that's why we have the hearing, so if you're not, we just canceled one. We had it all booked, shelved, ready to go, and they wanted to cancel it.
And
they were the ones that
came asking for it. Yes.
They wanted it done, we got it all engineered, and they didn't like the price, so they canceled it. So I said, well, that goes back in the bus 4 or 5 years from now, it's more expensive, contractors are more expensive, and you have the same problem,
Mhm.
it'll be more expensive in 4 or 5 years.
Well, if you follow through with what's been discussed today, I don't think I'll have any problem with the proposal. Franco, Springfield, either one's fine, 18-inch is fine, smooth core is good, taking out the old tiles, good. And putting in that, box there instead of the Y, sounds like a good idea to me. So,
I have one request. Around my property, I have an antique animal containment system. They called them a fence back in the day. And it has entry points called gates. Well, there's been a couple breaches in my animal containment system, and they've all been government employees that were authorized to open my gates. So I'm just telling you, I get very cranky when I see government vehicles just driving around on my property. He did not. He was learned ahead of time, and apparently his predecessor warned someone else ahead of time because they came and asked permission. But
That's what we're supposed to do.
it was I don't know, 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night. I had 55 cows in Dwayne Crumb's yard because a government employee opened the gates and left. And my wife and I were moving. Well, my farmstead is fenced in as well, and we move cattle just across the yard from time to time. And I had another employee decide that he wanted to open the gates at the top of the driveway, and here come all the cows from one building to the other. And we have cows everywhere. And I was not at all happy. So I'm just saying, when we're doing exploratory excavation, please tell me. I'll open the gates for you,
Yeah, that's our.
because then I will shut the gates. But please don't.
Contact them.
I would
Make
appreciate
it all
that.
possible.
I'm not gonna be out there at all. So don't
Okay. Well, I'll come after you.
Yeah.
I will find your house.
Pirates out.
All the cows and he's gonna. Run the house.
That's all right, I got a fenced area too, you can put some cows out there.
So,
Sorry about that.
Drank too much coffee.
No, I spent too many years bouncing around on a tractor.
So are we done?
Yeah.
Great.
I think we know where you wanna go. We just have to figure out what we need to do and.
You need to take,
What's this, I don't know, what's this blue, anything?
it's another county.
Yeah,
Is there any maintenance going on?
Not much, but a little.
Cause there is a pretty good sized hole right here at the corner of this lane.
We just had
And then out here
Did some
has been
repairs right
fixed.
there.
And there's one here too, just FYI.
See, if we knew these
This has
things
been
would get
fixed, and it's been
fixed,
nice, but this here needs,
Okay.
You
just,
We
just
got
so you guys
here and we
know.
got one here.
Yes.
Okay.
I think
3
there's
years
some
ago. I
pretty
asked
big
for
piles
that.
too.
Oh,
That was
That
one
was
we
before
need, that's
me.
one that has one of those early seventies maintenances on it that we need to have a hearing and raise the maintenance.
No, that's not very good shape. All across.
Is it? So that's one that maybe
One
needs to
day
be
it's
looked
gonna
at,
need-
yes, a reconstruction and, okay,
It moves a lot of water too, moves water off here,
well,
pond in the center.
all these move so much more water than what they used to because of all the laterals that are getting into them now. Plus all the fact that all the fences are going to slow water down, and just farming practices of today have caused a lot more surface water and water.
There's a few of us relics left that have.
I know.
You are so young.
No drain, but
I carried you in your house one time.
Well, let's hear this story.
No, it was not in the last year.
I meant relics
He
as
was
far
supposed
as,
to be-
fence. There aren't very many fences left.
he was only about like that.
And you know, even woods, there's a lot of those that are gone that held the water and
we did. Bring out the winter a little bit.
yeah, I'm gonna work on it again.
Just point out.
Yep.
And that's the point of that maintenance fund, they don't have to fix them.
well, and then we see. Then we know what's going on out there, so then we can plan maybe earlier to have these reconstructions or these maintenance projects. Why don't you just take him to the over?
There's a steam pipe here. Just take a look at that. I think it's been over. But there-
And for this one, you'll have to contact me because I have empty.
Okay.
Containment situations on this one too. Over here.
Okay.
But it can be
We've
accessed,
got your phone number, I don't have to do that.
it can be accessed any day of the year. You know, it doesn't matter if there's.
And you
cover.
take the lane here.
Okay, it's
All the way
it's
back.
grazing land.
Okay.
You very often, have a contractor win the bid that you have heard bad things about, or that they have done things not correctly to suit you.
Only the big projects, we've had a couple that I didn't know anything about them. And we didn't have a lot of references on them. It was a challenge, but the project turned out okay, but these are huge projects. These like this are usually our local people that we work with. Yeah. We've got Smith Excavating over in Miami County that's done a lot of work. Not anybody that I haven't worked with quite a bit. Anybody new, we try to work with them on minor projects first before we throw them into a project like this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks guys for coming in.
Questions, give us a call back
Yeah.
while we're working on this. Take, you just go over
Yeah.
there with him and
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
That's some, that's down here, don't I?
and you.
Oh, was it over there?
Oh, over there.
Over there?
That's me.
I forgot where I left my stuff.
I do that too.
Next, we have the MSP favor reconstruction certification.
That one, pulled everything together and I've calculated. Everything's here, if anybody wants to look at it. It ended up being $458.84 an acre, and we sent it to the hearing, it was $1,095. When we did reduce it the first time before we took bids, it was gonna be 800 something. So this is how I got 3 pages here for you to sign too, but you wanna look at any of the assessments? I've got paperwork here that shows how everything came about. The 95,000 that the state paid. We've got the 3 change orders. The, amortization schedule for the loan. 22,861 is what they calculated for interest. On the front page, I just rounded it up to 23,000 for the interest. Please look at these figures, see if you have any questions or comments. Per Brindle, we had an estimated amount for him. With the calculations here, I had to calculate the ditch with him in there without interest. And then I had to take him out and calculate it with interest and then add his back in for his new assessment. And he ended up, we're gonna pay him 500 and some
I was
dollars.
gonna say, he ain't agree on top of that.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
So I put the $500 in the contingency.
Yeah.
So I did contingency at half a payment basically for the interest on the loan, 9,000 something in contingency. I could have done up to 10%, which that's more like a 4%. But here's just all the information that went along with this, my calculations for engineering, advertising and all of that. Is in there that goes with that. Normally, I don't do a project till the end, but because of the timing on this one, it's spreading out longer. Change order for the,
We need a motion
not really, just need to sign
on
it,
sign
accept it.
So really, at the end of the day, we went farther. We made it all good. Here, we can put it out more.
I will.
One guy, one bang for our buck.
That's just all the information that's pulled together for that, if anybody wants to look through it.
We ended up with 158 an acre.
Yeah, 458.84. $200 minimum.
What was our estimate?
1,095. Now that did have the other portion on it,
We got like
800 something.
Still, turned out well.
Yeah,
I think everybody was happy too. We met out there, they didn't seem as mad as what I thought it would be.
I think so. Rex is still working.
Way worse.
Haven't heard any from anybody, so. Until we get that sent out.
Not wearing a photo either.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what.
We need to find this one wrong.
You need, there's 3 of them. There's one for the auditor, the treasurer, and our office.
It's gonna take a second. Wow. Find that one. This one already got ours.
Yep, that's just the change orders, just to show you what those.
Carol.
That additional one. Oh, yep.
Do the top one.
Well, fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that one. I think there was a couple things I wanted to bring back to you.
Like the shortest agenda of the year or the longest meeting of the year?
A lot of that, I would get too technical
That's abandoned. I didn't like that. Just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he does say.
That's just all the information that was gathered together to make some of those figures work. It's been very nerve-wracking trying to put all that together, but hopefully you got everything.
So I think they was trying to get to the point that they somehow wanted us to create these numbers without getting anybody involved. But you have to.
I understand right now, short term, it doesn't make sense, but long term, that single wall is gonna eventually fail in places.
yeah.
Single wall.
You've seen
for sure.
single wall
They
fail.
started letting people pull out.
I agree, but in the future, when that starts failing, they don't have the option to get into that main that's upgraded, it's nice.
Mhm.
So, I know nobody wants to tap in, but I would tap that 8 inch into that manhole.
I don't know.
So you get an access point. If I was him now, I wouldn't want us.
We gotta think about how much is gonna be tapped into it to begin with.
Should have 1, 2, 3 connections coming in 18.
If you bring those other two together, yeah, you got if it's an 18, if it's a 24,
Yeah,
if it's the other 18 over here.
It's the same depth as that.
He says he
Well,
is.
you gotta-
He said 40 to 60 feet away, but what if it kept that same depth? That single wall, I'm guessing not deep.
He said he wasn't.
So
Said he
that could be
tried to stay on
punched in that
top of it.
manhole at the top. We're ever to allow that.
What you gotta think about is how many taps you got coming in and the angles and everything, how big the manhole gonna be. And that's not cheap.
I agree.
So that's another thing too.
Yeah, those are not cheap.
Or if you could bring that 8-inch into the 12 or something and then,
Right. I'm just saying that I understand his thoughts, but again,
there you go, you're an 8-inch, I guess you could tap in a nicer tap. And then bring their single one into that, but.
correct.
Oh, the still they can happen someday the kids take over the farm.
Well, that's what I'm
You
saying.
just have that 12-inch coming from the same angle, tapping into this manhole that's ours, and I wanna tap ours in,
Agree.
not theirs.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's,
So you're gonna have like 4 coming into it now. You got the 18 where the Y is, you got the 18 and possible 18, possible 24, then you've got the 18 over here coming in, and you got a 12 at the bottom coming in.
or 12.
Running across.
That's hard to see from us.
That's down here.
That one comes in, 18 comes across and the third. Yep. Little one.
Yeah, you got these 2 up here. This is their private one, and I would bring that one in.
Okay, that's what I say. Are we
And
putting a
this
private one
18
in?
here, and you've got this one here, and you got our 12 here.
Which, as long as they're tapped in correctly into those structures, it's not an issue, as long as they're tapped in
This
correctly.
8, they say runs all the way up.
I mean, I've had one
So why
where
would
it's set and had 6 or 7 that
Yeah.
tap into it. As long as
And they
they're
said that was like,
busy.
they said that was like 20 or 30 feet away.
He said more like 40 to 50, yeah. I said,
I think there's 5 on the one on the key favor.
Yeah, I'm not worried about
And that's that we had to increase that manhole because of it.
I'm not too concerned with that, because we're gonna put something big in there anyways, put 18, 24, 12.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bigger anyway than putting 6 inch or 8 inch in the.
Yeah, but you're running that 8-inch 50 feet away all the way down to here. That's
I wouldn't
one,
think
that's
so,
one
yeah.
line.
And
It's
it
avoiding,
kind of,
it's
it comes in
avoiding
really close.
right down here.
Okay.
But it's all by itself over here.
I'm saying,
And a ways away.
bring it over and tap it in. We add on to it, so we
I
have,
would just make sure we get this one upgraded.
Yeah.
And then eventually his 8-inch is gonna be good away
right,
to us or the other people out there.
right. I agree.
If we get our function, it's lower,
Yeah.
it'd be lower and
They'll hold more capacity, his 8, 6 might not hold anything.
it's
Like,
6,
much land
the
right
6
there.
only up here.
Yeah,
That's what the 6 is, it's just across him up here and over to the. I just don't understand, I guess, why they didn't check with us before now, but.
Yeah, if he'd have came in when he did all that, we'd have done that project then. And they said they didn't know, but they somehow knew to come to us for a map, which makes no sense if you didn't know.
Sometimes you just suddenly think, oh my gosh, there's this. And I did it here, why didn't I do it here? So,
Yeah,
And at every hearing I've ever been to, somebody has claimed to not be in the waterfall. Or if the water, on the key favor was, Nancy, Weitzel, I don't know, Frank Press.
right. Okay.
And they might be right. I think on one of those they weren't. But, it's just a precedent.
That NRCS project too, a lot of times they'll come in and talk to us, but that was done in 63, code didn't come into effect till 65, so. That's understandable.
Copy.
Yes, if it's, yeah, we want,
that's the plan.
yeah, plans.
Each plan, yeah.
is that,
They got,
No, we have time.
You reprinted it.
it's only, it's.
Oh, ignore that one.
Okay.
Tyler forgot to sign that one. Oh,
Yeah,
So he
probably.
was giving Cheryl half and he forgot to sign up. That's just to show you what the retainage is.
Yeah, that's an old one. Yeah, it's just the top.
For that one, you don't need to.
It's just the top.
Yeah, they're just to look at. This is where you agreed to pay half of Taylor's retainage.
Yeah.
About like this property.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought you had. The clapping for,
Oh, in our meeting,
yeah.
We didn't need.
Did good, I think.
Brian Swihart told me when we read this last message.
Yeah, but all the clapping, those things.
That's what he says. I want the record to reflect, which it will now. Everybody stood up and fought for you, Iron Man seated. I don't want to get a big head. And I said, I would expect nothing less from you, Brian. Yeah. This was a half of the page. This one.
Is that the one you didn't sign?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is boring.
Oh, no, that's bowling.
Yeah.
No, that's something else.
That's back over there. I read it, just read the things.
You're not signing anything on the other side. You're not doing all that.
then they need permits.
I will make a motion to accept the Rick's claim that presented.
I'll second that, sorry.
Been moved and seconded that we accept the claims as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Motion passed. Now we can,
This is the range issue.
Get to zero would be great.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. I absolutely hope.
I would just ask, like, maybe more.
Well, I kind of did before, but when this is over, I'll.
I need to sign this one.
Nope.
So,
We'll make motion for the pond and drainage permit since it's the whole one.
yep, I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded that we accept the pond and drainage permits that we discussed. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same.
Maybe we could watch him. I thought there was another one. I said maybe we should.
Also,
Any other business?
I'm pretty sure.
This is, the one that came to you, Jeff, from Mike, Benson. I don't believe I have a culvert there.
Okay,
I think his issue is more with field tile than it is a culvert.
A field tile coming across. Because we've seen it was dug up.
So,
I mean, you can see the lines in the picture.
yeah, there's a road cut there.
Yeah.
But I don't have culvert there. And I haven't been out to visualize it. I'm just looking at the picture going.
It's a natural way too. You can see that it drops off and goes that way.
And the pictures I took there,
yeah, I think.
Are those your pictures?
yeah, I'm pretty sure there is a culvert
Is it
there.
just buried
It's
down
buried,
there?
it looks like the head wall right
It's
there.
just buried in the.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at the pictures, I went, wait a minute, am I sure there's a culvert or is this
Yeah,
just a field?
Rain was out there, so.
Okay,
It looks like there's a head wall right there.
Yeah,
Couldn't tell with the sign. I haven't been out there. I didn't
No.
want to bring it up so that way I knew if I needed to go investigate it.
I would say there's probably one there
yeah.
buried.
And so his complaint is the fact that it's not obvious green.
Which it looks really new, so you would.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Well, I
road
think
cut was barely
The
new.
problem isn't that it's there, it's that there's water on his yard. I don't think it's a,
What's in that?
Is it getting? to
When
the
we
drain
get
or is
some
it
rain
not getting to
out
the
there.
drain?
I don't think it's, like if you bought a wetland and then you were mad that it was a wetland,
Yeah,
it's a poor deal.
you can't get to the drain can't help you unless you get it to there.
Yeah,
I don't know where else to put the water, obviously.
Right.
right, I mean, it's like that when he bought it.
I mean, I can put riprap on to slow it down from erosion, but there's not much else I can do.
He would need like a French drain to get it, so it would actually make its way.
Yeah,
over
that's probably his best option, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because I wasn't aware, that's just what I had, and I was like, wait a minute, let me do
You want to
something.
take these?
Do you not have a list of cars like they?
Yeah, but I haven't had a chance to.
Okay,
Which-
because this just came to you.
We find them, I mean, there's culverts that aren't marked.
$1.
We just found a.
There's probably several, there's an art mark.
Well, you think of how many there are. It's-
I wasn't sure who took the pictures either, so I was like, because it was snowing.
Yeah, it's been a while. I didn't dig, I just took pictures.
All right, I'll investigate it, we'll figure out.
Harder pack in there.
Oh, before you go out there,
Yeah.
they,
Well,
we need to
that's
tell
nice
him,
with the
no, it's
hard pack.
private, that's on the landowner.
Yeah.
That's what, I think that's what he's, cause I went out, and that was probably back in August, the first time.
Oh, so it's been going on.
Yeah, well, I said, I'll have you guys take a look while we were busy finishing up some other projects. And we didn't get out there and he started getting kind of crappy
Okay.
with me with the phone calls.
All right, I'll call him today and.
He's on the county to fix it, I think, basically. And if it's not the county's,
There's nothing to fix there.
I don't think so.
It's just yard that slopes that way, not a drainage yard,
Not
Right.
getting there.
Even if you have tile there, you're gonna have storm water that's gonna come
right?
Mhm.
barreling through there.
Right.
Was there I mean, if there's no culvert, I guess you'd wanna see if there was a
I mean,
road cut permit given. For there.
I think that's the best deal on our eyes.
anything else?
Second.
We are adjourned.